You better bring your ass on. There's money on the floor. 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 She's a savage bitch. Run goes to the floor. She run for that money. You know she a bore. Hey, your knees, but she can take a lower. Taking that ass till she can't no more. Drop that, break that, wiggle that back. Twerk that, work that, break that back. Break that back. Bend your knees. Bend your knees till you can't no more. It's money on the floor. Give me some more. It's money on the floor. She's taking it off. It's money on the floor. It's money on the floor. There's 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 money on the floor.
Okay. Period.
Ooh. Okay.
I don't know what's going on. What's good, everybody?
On the floor.
Okay.
Get them coins.
The floor.
On the floor.
Okay.
It's Corona on the floor too, so you better watch it.
You don't want to pick that up. Don't want to pick that up. No. Leave that right where it's at.
Okay, on period. It's you guys' favorite time of the week, okay? And it's my favorite time of the month, okay? It's the gentleman's panel, okay?
Right, yeah.
Oh, it's the gentleman's panel. Period. Hosted by yours truly, the official King Payne, okay? And to my right, we have the captivating Christian, okay?
Welcome, everybody.
Hey, okay? And right below him, we have the rebel son. Okay, on period. Bandana on, okay? He ready? And then to his left, we have DJ Wilson.
I'm glad you didn't go to Mexico, boo. Okay.
Yeah, because I'll be stuck in Mexico right now.
Yeah. Up in Mexico with Conchita them. All right.
Oh, okay.
So how's everybody's quarantine been going? We all stuck in the house.
Whew.
To a degree.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Cabin fever. It's like, even though I'm going to work, it's still, I'm going like part-time. So it's kind of getting accustomed to this schedule, going one on, one off, one on, it's, I don't have any complaints.
Absolutely.
Just happy to be alive.
Yeah. Definitely.
Absolutely. Well, because we've all been stuck in the house, we've all had a lot of time to catch up on things, especially movies, okay, and documentaries, okay? There's a lot of docu-series out right now. Everybody is, getting to that bag. So there's this docu-series out, Sinbad just put out. And I asked you all to take a look at it and tell me what you guys think, okay? Before I ask you guys your opinion, I'm just going to play a little bit of the audio, and then we can talk about it, okay? Let's get it. Here we go. Sinbad says that he is not black. He is dark white.
I'm usually known for comedy and talking about making people happy, but I'm going to talk about something that's heavy on my heart since it's quarantine. We're getting things off the chest. I'm going to talk about the dark white problem in America. These are the Dark White Chronicles. What is the dark white movement? What is the dark white movement? What is it? We don't know. This is the first time we're speaking out. People like myself, Chris Brown, and Ice-T. We're neither white nor we're black. We're dark white. We're out here in these streets trying to do the best we can, trying to figure out where we fit in. Ava DuVernay, what about us? What about us? Wait, what about us? Dark whites want to be in a movie. I remember when Black Panther.
Okay, on period. I'm sure that you guys all check that out for yourselves. Okay, so let's talk about it. Captivating Christian, what are your thoughts about the dark white movement?
First of all, Sinbad is a comedian, and that's all I took it as him trying to be funny. I guess we moved from the light skin movement to the dark white movement. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I just think it's funny. I mean, it gets you thinking. But other than that, that's all I thought about it, really.
Absolutely. Rebel Son?
When I first looked at it, I was like, okay, this is satire because dark chocolate, because I mean, it was funny. I just thought it was hilarious because it's like he had this plight of not being accepted by blacks, and because he was too light, but just not light enough to pass for white. So it was funny to me, and I just thought it was hilarious, for what it's worth. It was just, I didn't take it seriously at all. I was like, okay, he's a comedian and he's just doing this for, the shits and giggles. That was it.
Absolutely. Brother Jay?
It could have been humor until he started talking about that Saturday Night Live gig he didn't land. And so even though it could be funny, I think that there is some truth to it because it seemed like that really bothered him. And I know Sinbad to be a comedian as well. I have a problem with the dark white. You are black, period.
Period. Puriana.
And that's what the United States has said, and you are. My problem is this. Sinbad, if he is not serious, it still brings some things to the forefront. Sinbad don't realize that black people back in the day, and still some today, were relegated to the maids and all of this stuff. They couldn't play the good roles. The light-skinned people did. So that's why you had people like Lena Horne doing well, no slight to Lena, but she was light and she was accepted. This is why you have Dorothy Dandridge accepted, because she was light. But you didn't have people like Viola Davis back in the day playing those roles or those strong roles. So, it's a sad scenario, but at the end of the day, light-skinned actresses, and even today, are still accepted more. But I think now people are finding out that people who are darker hue are just as diverse and just as popular. And now I think those light-skinned people, and no slight to light-skinned folk, because I'm neither light nor dark. See how you can go with that? Rebel is not either light or dark, nor is Captivating Christian. He can be called light-skinned, but he can't be called dark-skinned either. So my thing is, at the end of the day, now everybody has to compete. We need to be looking at the people who cause the issues in the first place, and those are the people who are Caucasian, because most of those people have charge of those scripts, and they are the ones who pick the people. They're the ones who say, this is what I'm looking at. They're the ones who typecast. So did Sinbad say that when he was on A Different World and he was a hot comedian? I'm just saying, because he was at a black school. Last I checked, Hillman was a black school, and he was a black man in that black role. So, I mean, I hope he's a comedian, and I hope that's what he's doing. The only thing that kind of turned me around was when he got upset about that Saturday Night Live gig. That seemed like that's the only thing that kind of turned it to me. And I'm like, oh, he's serious about this.
Well,
So
it
I
wasn't
think
a comedy. At the very beginning, the first thing that he said is that this is not a comedy. And then he went in to give actual life experiences, which made it seem more, real. It was, I mean, throughout the entire Chronicle part one, I didn't laugh at all. So there wasn't, it wasn't really funny to me. So to me, I thought that it was coming from a real place.
I thought it was coming from a real place too. And I just, I mean, you have little, I mean, I shouldn't say you have a little room to talk, but, talk to Viola Davis, talk to these dark-skinned actors and actresses. Let's not forget Hollywood Shuffle and those things, talk to some of those people, and I think everybody has a struggle, and so instead of taking it, and I was offended with this dark white thing because you're acting like it's something wrong with being black. That's what you are. You ain't dark white. You know what I'm saying?
But he's not racially ambiguous. He's not racially ambiguous. He's not like a Vin Diesel or The Rock.
Right. He comes from two African American parents. His father just happens to be of lighter skin. Well, both his parents were light skinned.
So where does the dark white come in?
Yeah, where does the dark white come in?
It could just be it could just be the dark for him, the dark side of being light skinned.
But that's being dark black. That ain't dark white.
I mean,
it poses a lot of problems.
No, it does pose a question. However, I mean, you can look at it either way, because remember back in, the 80s, the early 80s, light skin was in, the Albie Shores, all that. And
Christopher Williams,
he rode in that wave too. That's how he got his.
Yeah, so I wonder if dark people felt that way. The only person, I can't even say the only person, Carol Channing, you're right, Vivian. Carol Channing is dark white because people really thought she was white.
Well, she did until she was about to die, that she actually came out and said, "Oh yeah, my parents or one of my parents was black," but rode the wave all the way until. So I mean, I mean, yes, it could have been looked a certain way. I think it was more to start the conversation because we have colorism within ourselves. I mean, yes, it stems from slavery and that whole thing, but we've carried the torch on and, hold it high in our own family. So, I don't know. I
think he needs to watch Hotel Rwanda again, so it can kind of spark what little nuances can do. And truth be told, I'm surprised we didn't have a genocide in America because, according to history books, when escape or something was spoiled, it was always by the light-skinned house slave who always took somebody out because they thought they were closer to the master. Not always, but in a great
not always, but I do think too that has been kind of pushed along to kind of still create this whole light skin, dark skin thing.
But people do that, captivating. I mean,
I understand. I understand people do that, but I'm just saying. I think a lot of times it was just because the people were, some people were just plain out comfortable with the status quo and how things were going. If they got more than the next, they were just fine with that, and they didn't want nothing to disrupt that. Because again, we have that in our own communities where you can see somebody that looks just like you and, kind of live in the same predicament you kind of live in. But the minute you step out and do something different, and they call in whomever to make sure you stay right where they are. So that's all I'm saying.
But even look at New Orleans, that whole paper bag thing, they didn't, the whole Creole, lighter than a paper bag, black people that I know that said that their parents did not want them to date someone that was too dark because the whole dream was to be as close to white as possible. Black people that could pass for white, a lot of times they fled up north. So that's why a lot of white people don't realize that they have black ancestry, because if you could pass for white, you had a better life. And that's just how it was back then.
Yeah, and it was not only the United States, it's Haiti as well. You have that elite group in Haiti leading Haiti still, and the dark people are in poverty. I mean, you can go to Liberia, and it's the same thing. Those people in Liberia, I mean, I just think that we really need to get a handle on it. Black is truly black. I mean,
no matter how you look at it.
some people got raped, or I'm looking at Jefferson, and I'm looking at Thorne. What's his name? The Dixiecrat in South Carolina who had that daughter who I can't Storm Thurman. Storm Thurman. I mean, he had a whole black daughter. He raped his maid. He raped his maid.
I know that.
And by the maid, that's how he had his daughter. And he was a avowed racist with a black daughter. And the thing is, he didn't even have sense enough to send her to well, I'm not saying that South Carolina State ain't prestigious school, but he still sent her to a segregated black school. So I'm looking at this stuff, and I don't know, maybe Sinbad just need the money. Maybe it's a good docuseries. Everybody's trying to get paid. Maybe that's what it is.
The conversation.
Yeah, and Sinbad really surprised me because he's a good comedian in my book, because he don't have to be vulgar and raunchy. But don't pull the race card. Don't pull the race card.
Heard.
Don't pull the race card, because yes, you are a black man, and you are not dark white. You are a black man who may be white.
Was that a flashlight?
No, it's my dry hair. But we do that amongst ourselves. That's not, and I think that's the issue it brings up, that we have these kind of colorisms amongst ourselves, that the lighter some people are, the whiter they think they are and they feel. So I mean,
I think it's how you raised, because my sister is light, and I have a sister who's on the spectrum, but yet we all from the same place. I really didn't notice that until somebody said to my sister, "Ooh, you are beautiful to be a dark girl." And I was offended. I'm like, why can't she be beautiful as a woman, period? So I think that it's some of these black people groomed this way as well. Whenever there's adoption, the dark child is always given up. Not always, but for the most part, the dark child is given up. And the light. So, all right, I guess that's our time to get on, because you got a little nasty piece of
elephant.
Oh no! I was just, I was throwing some shade in there because you said they normally give up the dark child. Keep going. This is getting good, man.
I'm being real. I mean, it's happened in my family. I mean, I don't get me started, but and we had to address that situation. But again, this person who did this was raised in the Jim Crow South, where black people were taught that. You're not worthy because you're dark and all of this stuff. And this is why we have problems with a Miss South Africa, I believe, right. Beautiful as she is and stuff. People got problems with that. Let me say this too, and it's not only, people will always find a way to divide folks. I was watching Miss Korea. This is Korea. They said the girl was too fat. She was too fat, and this woman is slim, but she's too fat. So it's always going to be something. And even the Koreans, they want to get rid of the slit in their eyes and open their eyes more to be Western. So again, this is people pushing their values on what's beautiful and what's not.
But you're defined by beauty. The Korean people, if you're in a beauty pageant, they have a standard of beauty and body type that they're going for. You're not going to be 300 pounds running for Miss America. That's the reality.
300 pounds. That's the problem.
But they still look at looks. Looks play a major role in that. But they just recently did away with the bikinis.
But she won. She won. That's the deal.
Yes, but the reality of it's a competition based on looks. It's not to see what your IQ is primarily.
Well, it's based on looks, but if that's the case, then we would have never had a Carol Gist or Kenya Moore or Vanessa Williams or Suzette Charles, because they won. And let me tell you about that. Let me tell you, when Vanessa Williams won, I turned the TV off. I said, "Oh Lord, another white woman done won," because I thought she was white. Be honest.
Did you really?
And the thing is, Suzette Charles was the one who had a white mom or a white dad or black mom, not Vanessa Williams. Her father happens to be light and her mom happens to be light, but I thought she was a white woman.
Look, just like Sinbad.
But
That's the same thing.
right.
Not to me.
But again, you have to understand who's holding the kind of projection of what beauty is. It ain't us.
Right.
When it should be, it's not us. So everything is modeled to beauty being that of the Western look or of the Western view. So,
and this is why I'm upset that publications like Essence, Ebony, and Jet are like they're not as widely publicized anymore. I mean, Jet Beauty of the Week. I mean, we had our own publications to say this is what our standard of beauty is, and so on and so forth.
Right, but we stopped supporting things like that because we start saying to ourselves, which a lot of people still say, that, oh, why gotta look at Essence when I can open up Vogue magazine? That's so much better. That's so much, that's better.
All they gonna do is get a few token black people and go on over there. It's just like, oh, don't get me started. Everybody can go to which college they want to because everybody has a choice of college. Right. It's just like people don't look at our HBCUs
as being just as incredible than the Ivy League schools. But that's also an issue in which we hold their things or hold things that they consider Ivy League or better very substandard, where we'd be like, oh, okay, we gotta, to make it or to be noticed or to have my resume looked at, I better go to this school because I can't go here because they ain't gonna look at my resume or even know who I am. So
King Payne, I have a question for you. Would you rather live in Baldwin Hills or Beverly Hills?
Probably Baldwin Hills.
Okay, because some people want to choose Beverly Hills, even though Baldwin Hills is an exclusive black neighborhood. But even with that, they don't think it's exclusive enough, and they think, we have arrived now because I can live in Beverly Hills. And believe it or not, that's where black people had to live in Hollywood.
Before they
go to Beverly Hills.
Absolutely. See, I love my people. I love black people. You know what I'm saying? I like to keep it blackity black, and for that reason, I believe that Sinbad, you know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna say it. Sinbad is a sellout, and his what is it? Dark White Chronicles is trash. Dark White Chronicles is trash. Okay, I just feel like it causes a lot of riffraff, turmoil, and confusion. Okay, and right now it's not the time. It is not the time for this Dark White Chronicles, okay? I'm not for the movement. I'm not here for it. It's causing, it's confusing. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not a real movement. That's trash. And it's causing division within our community that we're trying to build up.
Yeah, I think black people, you need to unite and get together and make sure everybody has great roles. I mean, Drake is Canadian. He ain't even American, but you come on over here.
But that's not an ethnicity.
But we have to understand, when we have artists and young athletes who are, prominent in the NBA now, that actually have said that they impregnate light-skinned or white women so their children can look a certain way. We've already, this is a thing. This is not just, I think Sinbad saying this and kind of bringing this in whatever way he's trying to bring it, just to bring light to a situation that is happening. You have young kids here that's like, oh no, I don't want no dark-skinned girl. I want a light-skinned girl because I want my kids to look a certain way. And, I'm not sure if any women think the same way. I don't know, but I've heard a lot of, there's clips and all that kind of stuff of men saying, I don't mess with that because, oh, no, it's dark skin. And it's just like,
purple butts, the black butts, that rapper that said that. But even I think black women tend to be more loyal to black men than they are. It's not the same. Black men, when they do get a certain level, the sports guys, the rappers, they always go get a trophy white girlfriend. So, and it's not the same. Black women are remaining, my brother, they love their chocolate brothers. but it's just not the same, you know. And I think it saddens me to see that, because
I don't know if people know their history or not. You know, if you know your history, you know that this color or this lighter skin didn't come without a price, and I just don't think people understand that. Black people didn't have the luxury to say, "No, master, don't rape me tonight," because they were considered as animals, and I, you know, and I couldn't understand why white men would want to have sex with animals if that's what we were. But obviously, it was something that they wanted. And I this is an observation of mine. I don't know if this is fact, but I have observed this. It seems like white women and black men, they don't pick the pick of the litter. I tell you what, if you see a black woman with a white man, usually he's a doctor, or if you see a white man with a black woman, usually she's a Condoleezza Rice type of person. Not always, but that's what I've seen. But when you see some of these white women with some of these black men and some of these black women, you kind of like, what in the heck? What? Because it's either imbalance for one or the other. And I think back in the day, white women were seen as the epitome of beauty and only to procreate. And these white men held them women up on a pedestal. And I believe that black men were emasculated when they had to see their wives raped or taken advantage of, and they couldn't do anything about it. And so I don't know. That's an observation for me, but I think that I think people need to know their history. You know, I don't blame Steph Curry for his color. I don't blame Vin Diesel or these other people. You know, I do have a problem when you think that you want to mix with another race because you don't like your color, and that's a problem. That is a problem.
We see that with us. Even when I've gone to clubs, like predominantly white gay clubs, you'll see a black purple brother with a bunch of white people. And then when you come around, they look at you like, I'm supposed to be the only one. Why are you coming? You know, it's almost, they look at you as competition. I've dated other races, but I've never dated someone because they were white. I just like the person.
Rebel, they be looking like Joe Exotic too. You be like, really though? I mean, really?
They objectify. They white men that generally date blacks a lot of times, they look at you as almost like a pack animal. So they're dating you because of this whole Mandingo fetish that they have, which is sadly not true. So I think that a lot of times you'll see an attractive black brother, and it's the same like you were saying about them getting the black men getting white women. It looked like she was born and bred in the trailer park. Whereas the white gay men, they'll be shriveled up, one foot on the banana peel, the other in the grave, and they got a 20-year-old black man that's muscular, and he feels that he's won the lottery because he has a sugar daddy. That's the basic relationship.
And then they'll look at you and you be hot as heck, and they look at you like, and then they pass by you, and the black man look at you like garbage, but the white man sitting up there looking like a piece of meat, like he wants you to join them. No ma'am, no ma'am, no ma'am. Keep it going, because you weren't caring for me. You was in your 20s. You wanted a Latino man in your 30s, and now you're in your 40s and 50s, and you can't get nothing else. Now you want a black man. I'm not with it. I'm not with it. Shanae is not with the swirl. Okay, Shanae is not with the swirl. All right, I ain't mad. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry.
Yes, I guess I'll never understand. I guess I'm a bit of a colorist because I just feel like, like they say, one drop, all it takes is one drop and you black, okay? And and I'm not here for anybody that's black by my definition that feels some type of way about yourself, that dislikes themselves, or you know what I'm saying, a self-hating black person. Like that's so annoying to me. Like, how can you look at another?
So you think he's self-hating? You think he's a self-hating black man because he
doesn't even call himself black. He's dark white.
Dark white.
He's not even white. You said so yourself. Both his parents are black. So what does he mean by dark white?
Yeah.
Like
I don't know. That's what I'm trying to figure out.
I think it's a mix on words, like the dark side. I think it's a mix on words, almost like without him saying the dark side of being light skinned, it's like the dark side of kind of like, I mean,
Well,
You
what
can't.
makes you black?
Let me quantify something really quickly. You love who you love, and I don't know. I mean, I don't hate white men or any other person, but I do like black men. You
Per
know, period. No, no answer. But I mean, and how they look and so on and so forth. So I mean,
Right. What
so
is
I
your
want to say that because people are like, oh, Jay, discriminating against the white folk. No, I'm
But
not. Yeah.
what constitutes as being? Because see, I've witnessed this in this sector as well, and I know you've all seen this. What makes a person more have the right to claim being black more than someone like? Am I more black than someone like Tita Talks? You know what I'm saying? It's like because her mother's Filipina. So why do we have over here? I've seen people say you're not black because you're mixed. You're not black enough. That's not fair to tell them that they're less black than you because I've seen that over here, and all of you in the chat have seen that as well.
Mhm.
What makes a person? How can you tell? How can you give someone a black card if they claim to be black? And there are people that I think are disgusting that are in this sector that claim black. I can't tell them that they're not black because they may say they're Puerto Rican or they're Latino. In slavery times, they still would have been a slave with me.
You know, the thing is, black is not only subject to America. That's why they have islands called Melanesian Islands because these are black Pacific Islanders. This is why you have people in East Timor and Indonesia that are black. This is why you have Indians. Now, them Indians act like they ain't black, but them Indians be darker than I am, and the only thing that is that wave ahead. So
those Asian workers that worked on the railroad, hell, they were dark.
Yeah. So who's to say black is universal and black people catch hell everywhere? The Aborigines catch hell in Australia. The Maori Indians, well, they fought, but they could have caught hell. The East Timorians or whatever they call East Timor, they catch hell. I mean, anybody who's dark. Do you not know that the people in southern Italy catch hell from the people in northern Italy because the people in southern Italy are dark? The people in southern Spain catch hell from people in the northern Spaniard area because in Barcelona they light, but when you get to Valencia and all Catalonia, these people are dark. I mean, you got to realize that Gibraltar is right across the water from Africa. So, these people catch hell too. I just think that we need to know that blackness is universal. It's just not American. It's universal.
Absolutely. And black
people, who they love. All I can say is they love who they love. I choose to love, and it is what it is. I'm sorry.
And black people come in all different shades and all different colors. Okay, black people can be any color. We got the black people in the Guinness World Book of Records. We got a black man with the lightest skin in the world, and we got a black man with the darkest skin in the world. So that just goes to show that we can be anything that we want to be. So at this time, I want to give a special shout out to the 86 people in the room. Make sure y'all go and flop that booty right on that like button and show YouTube that y'all really are rocking with the Gentleman's Channel, okay? Because we keep it lit over here, okay? Hey, Puriana to the Purier. That was a good conversation. I'm glad that I picked that up, okay? I was like, ooh. What's going on with this dark white thing? It sounds like some chocolate or some candy. You know what I'm saying? It don't sound like no movement. Okay.
Well, Easter is coming up.
Right.
Period. Puriana to the Purier. Okay. So make sure that y'all hit that like button and make sure that y'all share our content. Okay. Because that's the best way to support us. Okay, here on the Gentleman's Channel, okay? Brother Jay Wilson, Rebel Son, Captivating Christian, and myself, okay? So moving right along, okay? Know thyself, okay? Sinbad need to know himself, okay? Because if he knew what I knew, okay, on period, he wouldn't be playing around with this dark white thing, okay? Especially not right now in times like this, okay? Know thyself, okay? It is an ancient concept going back further than Socrates and is at the root of philosophy. Okay. With that in mind, what are the most important things to know about yourself? Okay. Starting with Brother Jay Wilson. What's the most important thing to know about yourself?
Oh gosh, wow. You got to know your boundaries. Number one, you got to know boundaries. You have to know your limitations. You can't do everything. So whatever you do well, do that well. And you have limitations. And never say what you would never do. I know a lot of people say I would never do that. I just think that as you live longer, you have to realize that you got to put yourself in other people's places. You may do something different, but I just think that when you admit that you know nothing, then that means you know a lot. When you think you got it all, you really don't. And I just think that we're going to be lifelong learners. We'll get caught up in situations that will, cause us to do some things. So I think that you should have some boundaries, some morals. That's what we have grown up with. But we should be able to think things through. And what I was in the 80s is not what I am now in the 2020s. And I always tell people, don't put me where you met me, because I may have changed. And I think sometimes people try to keep you in the 80s and you are in the 2000s now and you could be a different person. I may not have been on the gentleman's panel in the 80s and 90s, but I'm on here now. So I just think that, you grow. That was a little tough for me. But I just think boundaries, limitations, and to be flexible, no pun intended.
Absolutely. Rebel Son?
Well, I was gonna along the same lines as Brother Jay was saying. I really had to think, and I was just contemplating on what the meaning of that is, and I thought long and hard, and I just came to the realization that I'm an imperfect person, just continuing. I evolve daily, and realize that things that you set out to do, you're not going to be perfect immediately at them. You may not be the best at what you do, but you could be content in knowing that you tried it, and know that, I just know that I'm in a world that people continuously, we're evolving as people, we're learning. We're not our grandparents. You can never get too old to learn. And I think I'll be learning to the day that I die. So I think that I read and I just looked at different people, what they were saying about it. And I felt that just, be content that you're an imperfect person in an imperfect world. You can just strive to be your best and have a moral compass.
Absolutely. And Captivating Christian?
Okay, first I would like to say, of course, the Greeks put it in the Adelphi temple of Apollo on the door, which they actually stole it from the Egyptians, who would place the know yourself kind of theme on all of the coffins in ancient Egypt. There's something that was all over the walls, almost like a self-affirmation to the people. So with that, it's definitely important to know your strengths and your weaknesses. Know your limitations, of course, but you never let them define you. You can always rise above your limitations. Knowing them is a strength, because at least you know where you can go and how far you can go with them. As far as myself, knowing my feelings, my likes and dislikes, really being in tune with myself is something that, you're not going to get it overnight, or you're not going to always have it. It's something that constantly evolves. You constantly learn more about yourself. And I say, one, be willing to do that. Be willing to get to know yourself often, and not just in that way that people always talk about getting to know themselves, but seriously get to know yourself. Um, Set standards for yourself, set goals for yourself, and just strive to achieve those. And they can be small, they don't have to be huge and big, but constantly it's always a growing, evolving kind of thing. That's all I have.
Absolutely. Okay.
Well,
Well,
good. We'll put chap.
Period. Well, I put down, you have to know who you serve, okay? Especially in these times, we're living in some very trying times, okay? So you need to know who you serve. You need to know who's the head of your life, okay? Who's your healer? Who's your provider? Okay? Okay? You got to know that you know that you got to know that you know that you know. Okay, I say it all the time. Okay, so that's what I put down. You have to know who you serve. Okay, know who you serve. And I also put down, you have to know what makes you happy, and know what you love to do. A lot of people like to go with the flow, and they're waiting for somebody to give them direction. You need to know yourself, look within yourself, and you the happiest, okay? What you like the most. Period. Puriana to the Purian.
You have to find, a lot of meditating. I saw that people were saying that as well.
Yeah, and you are not perfect. I think Rebel hit it on the head. People, you become mature, and I think even in Christianity, and I know a lot of people don't, take up that religion, but I think people in Christianity are striving for perfection, and you're never going to get there. You strive for maturity. So what got you yesterday, you strive not to get tackled by it the next day. You're not perfect. You're going to do messy stuff. You're going to mess up. But I just think that you have to keep going. You're not perfect. People ask me, would you change anything in your life? And I'm like, no, absolutely not. Things happen for a reason. Things happen for a reason. And you got to keep moving, and you can't let one of those experiences keep you back. And like I've said, you learn from your past, you live in your present, and you prepare for your future. And so I just think that you know yourself as you live longer. And I think the more you live, the more you know yourself.
Yeah, but as we grow though, I don't think, although we're not perfect, I definitely don't think there is where we're striving to. You should, granted, like I said, we're not perfect, yes, but I don't think we should put a thing where in which, oh well, I know I'm gonna mess up, so that's inevitable.
But you're going to.
You should always strive. Yeah, you are going to, but you should always strive to try and be the best person and do your best, not to be like, well, I'm gonna mess up anyway. No, kind of like, still push for, and yeah, you may fall short, and that's fine, but get up and do it again, or push further. Always kind of putting that different spin on just like, well, you're not perfect, so you're just gonna mess up. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Serena Williams is GOAT, but she gonna lose a game every once in a while.
Yeah, right. But she knows that. You know what I'm saying? But she knows that. And I think that's her strength. She knows that, hey, every time I get on this court, somebody might beat me.
Yeah. But I'm gonna do my best to win.
Right.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying, because if you lose, you lose. And I guess her thing is, this is what I said. You learn from it now. Okay. So she don't sit there and stew in it. She learns from it. She'll get into the gym and hit the gym harder and work on her strokes and her backhand and forehand and her serve and get in and win. So I just think, Simone Biles and all of these other people, as great as they are, they don't have great days all the time. So,
but they still strive for that perfection.
They do. They do.
I feel that the only person that I have a competition with is myself, because I'm not looking at someone else to say, okay, I have a Lexus they have a Porsche. Are they better than me because they have a Porsche?
Right.
I may want to buy a 2-bedroom condo. You may stay in an 8-bedroom house. But our ideas of what life is about may be different.
Mm.
Happiness, people view in different ways. So you'll be a person that's an older, miserable person because you're constantly competing with people and you're not going to be the best at things sometimes. You have to, I say, try. You gave an effort, but still be able to know you gave it your best shot
Mhm.
and keep it moving.
You know, I was looking at a documentary of North Koreans moving to South Korea. And of course, these people in North Korea barely had anything. They lived under that strict, dictatorship. But one thing they said that they were happy. They noticed about the North Koreans that they were striving to get things and they would work all the time and they didn't have no joy. And the North Koreans really felt sorry for the South Koreans. And even though these people were under Kim Jong-il and all of those dictators, they didn't have much. The lady said when she moved to South Korea, she couldn't believe how much food that they wasted and they threw away because she came where, all you got was rice and she just couldn't believe it. So when she got to South Korea, and a lot of them started competing and wanted to commit suicide because they thought that's what they had to do. And then they had to realize that it wasn't about all of that. So I just think that what Rebel said is correct. It's not against competing against one another. It's really what can you do with yourself? What are your goals? And I think we have to get to that point.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That was good, Rebel. See, I feel like, just as, it's important to know that. I feel like it's just as important to know what you're bad at. Okay. For me, God don't want me to do no handiwork, okay? On period. You know what I'm saying? He said, I've given you enough skills and talents, okay? Put down the hammer, put down the drill. Don't do nothing like every time I find myself trying to be handy, I hurt myself, okay? So it's good to know what you're not good at as well, okay? So just going around, guys, share with the world something that you're not good at. Brother Jay, what's something that you're not good at?
Okay.
I'm not good at arts. I don't really draw well. I'm awful at that. I am really not great at mathematics. I passed the class, but it don't excite me, even though I like music, and you got to have math with that. But I love science, and I'm not a computer science person. So, yeah, I'm not good at those things.
Yeah. That's what's up. And captivating?
Let's see. Well, the math thing, yeah, kind of, sort of. I passed. I mean, if I'd applied myself more, I would have been more of an A student in math. But it was like, hey, you got it. Here you go. Bam. What else am I not good at? I'm a pretty good listener. Sometimes I am definitely not good at times, depending on who it comes from, taking criticism, period, whether it's good or bad or indifferent. I always have something to like debunk it or something like that. But I'm working on that. I am working.
That was a good one.
I am working.
And Rebel.
It's funny that both the other guys were saying math because math was a thorn in my side because I just never understood how numbers and letters would go together. And it just wasn't, I always excelled at writing and the arts, but I was never a mathematician. But it was that, but I could learn it, but I would have to algebra, no trigonometry and all the calculus, but I wasn't also, I'm good at letting things go sometimes. If you've wronged me and you got on my bad side, I tend to be a little grudgeful. So that's not a good thing, because it's like sometimes people can apologize and you can accept it. But when they would do something, I would be quick to bite their head off again. So I'm working on that, because I think of that as a character flaw that I need to improve on.
Absolutely.
I know y'all see me and y'all see this angelic like being, and you think I have no, any type.
Yeah, okay.
I was the result of a star falling from heaven. So,
Yeah.
so I'm human just like everyone else.
Absolutely. And that was the purpose of that exercise, Rebel, okay? Because a lot of people, they see some of these people on these YouTube streets and, they think very highly of them and, even go out of their way to do things for them. And, none of us are perfect. We're just like everybody else, and we're flawed beings as well. So shout out to the nearly 100 people in the ring.
Oh, we're breaking the internet.
Okay, on period. The internet gonna break real soon if we keep this up. Okay. Okay. So moving right along. Unless you've been living under a rock, okay. I'm sure you guys have all had the opportunity to check out the docu-series on Netflix, The Tiger King. Yeah. Okay, on period. So guys, think about it, okay? Rebel Son, what'd you think about the Tiger King documentary?
God, I'm the first. Lord have mercy. Okay. You know what? I must say, I have Cliff Notes. I looked on YouTube because I have Amazon Prime and Sling TV. I don't have what you guys have. But
wait, hold on. Real quick, before we get off this live, okay? I'll give you my Hulu account. You give me.
I was giving Captain letting me use his to watch it. So thank you, Cap. I appreciate it. But I did research him, and I found out a lot. He was very eccentric, over the top. That whole struggling with his parents, the relationship was very strained. And I think that he hid all his insecurities by being over the top. Just, and he used his power to control people that needed things from him. He nurtured behaviors with those guys with the whole drug abuse and everything. So I researched and I looked at a lot of stuff on YouTube. I didn't watch the series, but I got the gist of it.
That was good. And Brother Jay?
I watched that thing. The sad part about it is Tiger King, Joe Exotic, Doc Antle, Jeffrey, all of those people used other people. And they would find people who were down and out on their luck, and they used them, and they used those people to make themselves feel superior and better. Now they're doing interviews. I know that the Spade guy, I can't think of his name. He's the short guy who plays on a lot of
David Spade.
David Spade is interviewing a lot of these people. And the guy who was actually going to produce it, who was going to sell it and make $1 million, he was scum too, because he took advantage of Joe Exotic. He owned the rights to everything. He said he pretty much owned Joe. And he was these people just used people. It was like if you were ignorant, dumb, didn't know any better, they used. So everybody was using somebody. Carol Baskins was using her volunteers. She was smart.
Mm-hmm.
Her stuff was a refuge and a sanctuary, not a zoo. but
Yeah,
yet
she was doing the same things that he was doing with the man.
yeah. So I just think people, that's the biggest thing. How do you feed people expired meat? I mean, you paying these folk $100, and even Doc Antle. No, you weren't married to those women, but you put them in houses, and I just think it was interesting. It's a docu series. We found out that they made that man take his teeth out because he already had teeth, but they made him take it out to really hype up the story. So even though it's a docu series, everything that we see, we don't get the whole picture. You know, it's a lot of stuff that's been on the editing floor that you won't see. And this is why I tell people, even with the Housewives of Atlanta and Married to Medicine, there are some things that go on the cutting floor that you are never going to see. So you got to look at this stuff with a grain of salt. But there's nothing else that I got out of it. It's people taking advantage of people. I mean, not being upfront, but taking advantage of people. And I think that was the biggest thing.
Absolutely. I felt like that as well. Captivating.
Yeah, after watching Trailer Trash Days of Our Lives, I just felt like I lost a couple brain cells, but I will say that they yeah, it was a lot of using going on. Everybody was looking for a way to advance themselves, especially the main uh, characters or catalysts in this docu series. Um, Joe just I don't know. Just it's like watching a white trash film or something. I mean, it was very much like okay, I don't know. It's tough. I
You
just
know, he reminded me of Donald Trump.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I got that. I got that. Very much like if you take the suit away from Donald Trump, you take the gold toilet, that is Donald Trump's whole essence of who he really is at his core, is what I when I saw it, when I watched it. Um the whole him having the two husbands and then the husband thing, but they ain't really gay, they was just in it because he gave them drugs and stuff. I
That whole rant, why he couldn't say the N word. You know, how are
I
you
mean,
a gay man and you're getting pissed off because you can't say the N word?
but I mean, again, that goes to the nature of where in which even in the lowest of the low, because I mean, a lot of they were low, even the places
They were real low.
roach infested, and they still feel and felt that they were even better. So for him to even say, "Oh, I don't know, I can't even say that," and you have employees living on your property in this type of fill, I mean that trailer was disgusting. It was no
Rats.
rats,
Yeah.
roaches, and then on top of that, the expired meat that you were feeding the animals, dude actually reached in and go, "Oh, this still frozen. I'm gonna keep this. Take this back to my place." What?
Yeah.
This made my whole stomach turn.
It goes to show black people don't feel bad. Black people, see,
Right.
we get this stigma that we are,
We are the ones that are
degenerate, and
right.
but this goes to show you that white folk are just as nasty, just as
And
degenerate.
worse. Yeah.
Stab you in the back.
Yeah.
That's all you see. And so black folk don't feel bad. We just got to do a little bit better, black folk. But this is what I'm saying.
Wait a minute. Can we talk about how Joe's ex-husband, the one that was still surviving, let alone the one that just went into the office and blew his brains out, but was sitting there through the whole interview, not a tooth in his mouth, but the four up here, no shirt, just Joe the dirt. Just, I mean,
And this is the thing. At least Doc Antle looked clean. Joe, nobody on that farm in Winterwood looked clean. Everybody looked like they was tainted with a stench of dirt. I mean, I'm looking, and let me say this. It also told me that y'all can hate on Carol. I'm not a Carol fan.
she
But
killed
baby,
him.
Carol is strategic. Carol is strategic, baby. I don't want to mess with Carol. Carol will let the boys know that I didn't come for Playboys. I'm gonna use. I'm a proper acting woman, even though I came from the gutter too.
Yeah,
I got a good man, and I learned how to do this thing from this man. And she's saying, find my husband. You said I killed him. Fine.
I think she used her little whiteness to take her little zoo scam thing and just make it so it's more presentable to those, to the people to keep it going. As why she would go primp her behind up to Capitol Hill and push for animal rights and all these things while you doing the same thing. Now, the feud that they have between each other, I'm totally lost and confused by it because you're in one state, she's in another. It's not like you're in the same state, like I have a McDonald's over here and you have a McBurger over here and we kind of fighting for the same customers. You're in totally different states that
she provoked Joe, and I think this is why people on YouTube need to not let people provoke them, because Joe still would have had his farm and his zoo.
Maybe this person needs to be blocked in the chat. What they're trying to say the N word with R on it. That's a troll.
Yeah, that's a troll. Yeah, I see it. Humphrey Bear.
I got it.
The bottom line is Carol, if he would have not used her trademark and then had that plot to kill her, he wouldn't have been in the situation. And as much as people want to blame Carol, it's Joe. Nobody liked Joe. Joe, like a lot of people, keep on pushing the issue until they do one thing wrong. And his downfall was using her trademark, and she won in court, and he had to pay $1 million. And it seemed like he got even angrier. And it led to the point where I'm going to get rid of her. And Carol had the optic of homemaker. I have one husband. Okay.
He was a prettier picture. She's a pretty
picture. Doc Antle had all the women. Joe had all the men. They looked like misfits. Even though Carol was married 3 times, the husband she was with was her only husband. Jennifer Students is another person that didn't get them because I don't know why these people coming in.
I got them together. I went ahead and blocked them.
The show was deep. I know you all said y'all lost some brain cells, but I learned some things on this show. And everybody is in it for something. And everybody who drives a car.
But it's like a huge thing of manipulation, and everybody plays a part in which they manipulated at some point or to some degree. I mean, even to the point where the young lady, I don't know why, but put her arm in the cage and got her arm torn off, went to the hospital, and then days later went back to work.
And didn't sue. Because Joe thought his farm was over.
Yeah, he thought it was closed. He thought he thought he would never recover from that. That it was a done deal. Like even the people in the gift shop were like, "Say what?"
We still gotta come to work.
You know what? Though? One thing that Joe did say was it was a cult, and at least he could admit it. He admitted that. He said Doc Antle's cult was more elaborate and opulent than his, but it was a cult. And when that man said, I don't know how Doc, he said, I don't care how Doc Antle trained them animals. He said, I'm just more concerned how he trained them women. Ooh, I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, but
and I believe Joe, and let me tell you something, Joe said, I'm not going down. All y'all gonna go down with me. And
right. That's the same kind of Trump mentality that Trump even has himself. If he is to go down blazing, he will take other people down with him.
Oh, yeah.
Sure of it.
Right. Oh, most definitely.
But it's just, I don't know, that whole thing. I did laugh, however, just at the very thought that, I'm sure that docuseries has made tons of white people cringe to even know that there are people like that in the world, because of course they always like to, put forth this image that no, we don't participate in those type of things, and we don't. And it's nice to see, like, hey, there you are, right here, living it up.
Yep.
But again, You don't even have to go that far to look at that docuseries. You can turn on a Trump rally and see the same people. So, I mean,
Same mindset, blind followers.
Yeah. And this man,
You have it on YouTube.
yeah, he beat his own mama. He was willing to have his mama lose her house just to save. You know, the bottom line is these people care more about animals than they did people. And I mean, you know, then the man who was using the lions to sleep with people, he would take the lions up to the hotel room. And Jeffrey, really? So I just think these people like these animals more than people. I think Carol would rather deal with her animals more than people. And one thing that came out and they vehemently deny is they weren't concerned about the animals in the wild.
mm-mm.
They were like they weren't concerned about the animals in the wild.
No, not at all.
So no type of preservation, just it was a money making. At the end, it was like their come up was that, you know, not preserving the species at all. You saw how he would take the cubs. He would snatch the cubs from the mothers and have them like in that little kennel like area. And I'm like, how did he manage to get away with that? Because PETA would be all on top of him. They should have been on top of him.
They was. That's why he did. See, Carol had it in good with PETA. And so her whole goal was to shut him down. But she was doing the same thing.
Yeah. She
made it look good and flowery, and she didn't have as many animals. She didn't breed animals, and she didn't have a petting zoo.
Mm-mm.
But Doc, it was so much. It was so much in there. Doc Antle, I believe he was afraid of Joe because when they finally went into that storage unit and pulled those documents, Joe was sending Doc a lot of his tigers and a whole lot of stuff. So Doc was implemented in a whole lot of that stuff. I mean, even the man who turned informant. I mean, they were falling out with each other to do the zoo. The new zoo. So everybody was using everybody. It was a dog eat dog situation. If you didn't see it, please see the show. The show was deep.
Yeah, for me, I like the show. I like the show a lot. The main character Joe, I felt like I can relate to him on a lot of different levels. He was he was gay. He had a lot of different boyfriends. You know what I'm saying? He was things that made me want to see more. And I felt like everything that happened to him and everything that he did, he was just reacting to the stuff that people was doing to him. And at the end of the movie, they kind of make you, kind of lean towards Joe. You know what I'm saying? You like Team Joe, you like Free Joe, you know what I'm saying? I was, like a lot of people, after I binge watched the whole docuseries, I was around here talking about Free Joe. About Carol Baskins because she definitely killed her husband. Okay. And you know what I'm saying? If you just think of, the whole situation, you know what I'm saying? Because Carol, she killed her husband. She was the one provoking Joe the whole time. And then she gets all this money. She goes free. She did all this stuff to all these people. Her ex-husband's family, his daughters, she took all their money. She got them living, you know what I'm saying? Like, mediocre lives when their father was. That's why a lot of people for Joe at the end of the docuseries. But I was feeling for Joe too until this clip surfaced. Okay, hold on. Until this clip surfaced of Joe ranting about not being able to use the N-word, okay? Like a lot of these trolls in the comments, okay? Anybody attempting to use the N-word is going to be blocked, okay?
Pathetic.
Periana to the period. So let me share with y'all this clip right here of Joe Exotic ranting about not being able to say the N-word. Wait, hold on. Let me do that again because I did it wrong. Okay.
That's a
Only
big
one
freedom.
in this country. It's absolutely pathetic. I can't say the N word, but you can get on YouTube and watch any black man's rap video, and they're calling each other the N word. What the hell is this discrimination? I'm white. I can't say the N word, and they can. And
Okay. Joe posed an interesting question. He posed a very interesting question to me. Okay. The N word. Okay. He says it's discrimination for us to call ourselves the N word and not allow Caucasians to call us the N word. Okay. What are your thoughts, Rebel Son?
I think it's ridiculous. It's almost as if I've said it before, the N word and the F word are the same thing for me. They're both words that are used to, make people feel less than. Because you're arguing about, you have an issue with not being able to say something that I find offensive. It's like, you do realize it's that white privilege. It's that whole thing of that entitlement. I can do it because, how dare you tell me I can't say whatever, because this country was founded on the backs of slaves and
Oh, Rebel, you froze.
of the. So why would this white man feel that he has the right to say this word that is a word of hatred that have been used for so long to oppress people? I just don't get it at all. It's that whole entitlement thing that some whites tend to have because it's generational. That's how I felt.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I don't like the word being used, regardless of who's using it. I, I, I mean, I think part of me thinks he was just doing it for the TV, the shows, whatever it is that commercial was for. But part of it, I mean, there's definitely truth to it. And I get some people will say, well, we turned it around and made it empowering. I really don't see how you can turn that around when people have died, been hung, raped, beat, so on and so forth, from that very word. But there's always been this thing with, we could say it, why can't we? I should be able to say it. I should have the freedom to say it. And sometimes I feel like the very president that's sitting in the White House right now wants to say a whole lot, right from the podium.
Mm-hmm.
But he doesn't, because he knows that it will be a very bad look. But again, that comes, like Rebel said, that comes with that privilege or that feeling of authority. But we need to take some responsibility for that too. We can't, call each other that and feel like, oh, well, we can call each other that, but you can't say that. Because personally, what I used to tell a lot of my friends, especially once I went to school and took other classes and really learned things about my own culture that I did not know, that you don't see any white people walking around talking about, what up, hunky? What up, cracker? They don't do that to themselves. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that we do that, and it's like, oh, but it's cool to do, but then yet let somebody else come out their mouth and say it, and it's, oh no, we ready to fight you because you listen. Like I said, too many people have died. Too many things have happened to the point where we need to start taking responsibility and saying, hey, let's not do that. Let's use something else. Let's just, hey, what up, king? Hey, queen? Just something different. Change it. But we have to start taking responsibility to do that. We cannot depend or rely on them to go, oh, well, when they stop calling us, then we'll start changing it. No. We can start doing that. We can change that. It don't make you any less of a man or a woman not to say it, not to use it. Um, I just feel like it needs to change. But that's my thought.
I
Absolutely.
definitely agree with you. Definitely 100%.
Absolutely. And Brother Jay?
Um, First of all, I'm not on any of these shady character side. I would just say Carol was the smartest of all of them. So I ain't on either one of their sides because they all grimy. But trust me, Joe has already said the N word. He just
Yeah.
hasn't done it in public. We know he's already done it. And I agree with Captivating. When you know better, you do better. I remember when Richard Pryor was doing his stand up, he used to use it. A lot of comedians used to use it. And then as they got conscious, they stopped using it. I never forget watching Sanford and Son when Esther said, "What did you say, Ian?" And it was funny. It was funny. But this is the thing. Once you know and know the history behind things, then you need to stop. I don't want people to call me that. I don't want white people to call me that. I don't want Arab people to call me that. I don't even want my own folk to call me that. I think that when people start using this stuff in rap songs and all of this stuff, I see two things. I see people who don't really know their culture, and or people who just sell out for the cash and sell out for the money. And I believe a lot of people do that. As much as I like Trina was nasty as heck, though. I mean, Amen. Ooh, that was nasty. I mean, I'm like, are you really representing women like that? But it was for the money. It was for the money. And the thing is, we have a right to consume this stuff or not consume it. And so, we want to blame the artist, but the artist can't sell stuff if
People aren't buying.
you're not buying it. And this is what I tell people, even on YouTube. If you don't like the stuff, then stop watching it. So I think that we need to start with ourselves, and we need to know. And don't tell people, oh, you think you all of this, because no, once you know, you just try to make that thing right. And these gentlemen here are not the N-word. They are not. They are black men. They are men of color. I mean, whatever, but they're not in people, nor are they the F word, and like Rebel said, you use those words to denigrate and make yourself feel better than someone else. And I just think that, people need to step away. I don't want black people calling me that either. Like, I don't want nobody to call nobody no B word either.
That's a whole nother hook.
It's a double standard.
When they say that, but
yeah, but then you call each other that. That part's irritating. Like, I just turn my computer off every time I do it. It's like you get in an uproar, somebody call you that, and for prime example, if one of us was to call a woman that on here, it'd be this total, I cannot believe you said that. Oh my gosh, they're against so-and-so. Oh my gosh, this, that, and the other. And you turn right around and you be sitting up there talking to another female content creator just because you don't like her and call every bit of a dirty B, this B, that B. You can go down the list and add B to every word this person would say. And you sitting there like, but you was just, now I don't have to be a fan of either person, but you was just in the pair calling this other person, oh, they don't like women, oh, they don't like this, but yet you're saying the same thing. So where's the difference?
And be the first to holler women empowerment. Ain't that something?
But and then people get on here and I've never seen people so willfully ignorant and embracing just I don't like nobody calling me a B. Don't call me no B. But a content creator can say, we gonna be some bad bees, and they in the chat giving high fives and everything. It's like, it's so weird. I feel like I'm in the Twilight Zone a lot of times, because even that whole comparison with the F word, the B word, the N word. Black people, we don't want to be called whites, we don't want to be called the N word. Women say they don't want to be called the B word, but people on here double talk, because I've heard content creators say, don't call me a B, but in one moment, they say I'm the baddest B. I'm going to be that B. So which one is it? I mean, stand up in your stuff and stop it. The subscribers, stop just following like mindless lemmings. You know, stand behind something. It's a word that's derogatory, but just say it's derogatory. No one should use it. Just like the N word, you know, the F word. We as gay men, and people were actually arguing and saying, well, gay people call each other the F word. We don't call each other that. It's a derogatory term. B word may be derogatory if your boyfriend called you that, but your girlfriend can call you that. So it's a slippery slope, you know, with the N word as well.
Yeah, my mama always used to tell me, she, you know, to this day she tell me, it's not what you called, it's what you answer to. Okay, on period. And I was all here for Joe Exotic, like I said, after I binge watched the documentary. And then this video slipped up. Okay, and my mind changed. Her Puriana to the Purier, because I know in my heart of hearts that when the camera was off, he was around that set, around that zoo, dropping the N-bomb like raindrops. Okay?
He wasn't the only one. I bet you.
Paula Dean.
Oh, people in there. Yeah.
But why you want to free Joe? I think Joe put his own self in jail. Joe, let me say this. Joe messed up when he used that woman's trademark, and he messed up when he was doing those effigies and pretending like he was shooting that blow-up doll. I mean, he had a whole woman who looked like her. He had a whole woman who looked like her in that video. So I think he did it to himself.
Well, it's free Joe because, and sorry to cut you off, but it's free Joe because they don't like to see their people incarcerated for years for things that they don't equate themselves of doing. Now, if it had been one of us, there would be no free nobody. It'd be you deserve to be exactly where you are for what you've done.
Let me say this. Doc Antle didn't take Carol's trademark, and Doc Antle wasn't trying to knock Carol off. All of these people except Joe. Now, I will say that Jeffrey and his associate who drove to South Carolina, they should be in jail. But since they turned evidence over, they may suffer later on. But Joe was the one who was doing all of this stuff. And Joe gave that man that money. Now, yes, he should be in jail. But I don't believe in this free Joe thing. I believe that some more people need to be in there with.
Well, I understand. I do agree. I agree as well. I believe some people need to be in jail. However, I'm just saying that we know that the mentality of many white people is that, you know, this, oh, if I just take this, it's no big deal. Or if I just steal this, it's no big deal. If I just take this money, it's no big deal. Look, we got a president that does it. Oh, if I just say this, it's no big deal. If I just, you know, put this money here, make y'all pay and put money in my hotels because I'm going to send these security guards over here to watch me and then charge them an arm and a leg and you're going to pay for it. All this stuff is like, it's a kind of thing that it's okay to do these things. So
I just think Joe set himself up. And let me tell you about Carol. Carol said if she killed her husband, prove it. She said, find the bones, find the blood, find something. Carol said, but let me say, people say whatever we want about Carol. I guarantee you Carol going to live her life out. I guarantee you Carol going to be somebody else.
She fed them cats her husband, and they're not gonna find no bones because.
How do we know that? Because it was no blood, no nothing. I truly believe that somebody done pushed her husband over a plane or something. I don't know, because if a cat ate that man, it would be real sloppy. It would be real sloppy. And don't get me wrong, she said some things that was real interesting about that sardine juice on that man's shoes. I'm like, why you know that?
Not necessarily. I mean, if she would know how to clean up and really do what she needs to do, how could we say we don't know that? I mean, personally, I think she looks like a loony bin anyway. The way she was riding that bike.
I think Carol had some friends. I think Carol may have had some friends. I don't think Carol. See, Carol is like a smart drug kingpin. Carol is not going to have anything to point back to her. She's going to have low-level people do it. Carol ain't going to do it. Carol ain't going to do nothing.
But that's more the reason why I even think that she had something to do with it, because then you see her running to Capitol Hill, smooching up with the politicians, making sure to secure her visual self as someone who is on the rights of animals and this, that, and the other. And they stop even talking about her husband. Soon as she started doing that, it was like, husband who? The kids were still sitting over there like, she stole my father's money and but they all, she's an advocate and blah, 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 and we're getting those laws changed just for her. Come on, lady.
Whatever. Okay. What Rebel Son went? Rebel Son went into the truck to fight.
No.
Okay. Ooh. Well, I don't know. People say Carol killed that man, and she could have killed the man, but you cannot convict that woman on that certain evidence. You got to have concrete evidence, and I don't know what Carol did, but Carol did it.
Well, I mean, yeah, you have to, but I mean, we all know in our justice system, it don't go that way for us. So I understand that, they're not going to follow after her because they don't really have anything concrete. But
well, the reason everybody was hollering "Free Joe" is because he was set up. Like, I mean, I don't think that he really hired anybody to kill Carol. I just feel like that's how he honestly felt about her all the time. Like he wanted her to die. A lot of the videos,
like you said,
he said that like he said, I didn't give that man no money to kill nobody. I gave him the money for they have like a dinner for Christmas. Food and stuff to feed the people, and he had like receipts and stuff. So, I feel like it was just everybody was just greedy. Everybody, even the people in the clip, they were just greedy. They seen something that Joe had, and they wanted it, and they found a way to get it.
Yeah, I don't think. I mean, granted, he said it, but I don't think he really was like, yeah, I'm gonna kill this woman. He just doesn't strike me as that type. Now, saying he wanted her dead, I'm sure he said that a lot of times. Every time she came across that YouTube screen or something she did, I'm sure he said it because of his disdain for her. But I don't really think he had.
Well, he in jail now, and he got 22 years. And at the end of the day, if it was a black person who owned that zoo, it would have been closed down and shut.
It would have been closed a long time ago. And the Fed wouldn't have been nicely following behind him. They would have got him with the whole shebang. Like, it wouldn't even have been him being able to burn and blow up documents and do all that kind of mess.
And those were Michael Jackson alligators from Neverland. Ain't that something?
Oh, were they?
Yeah.
Absolutely. So it's been lit. We've been live for an hour and 30 minutes. Shout out to the nearly 75 people in the room. Make sure that you guys are hitting that like button, okay? It's the best way to support your favorite YouTuber because it doesn't cost you a thing, okay? Okay. But if you like to donate to us, we all got our own individual cash apps, Periana to the Period. Moving right along. Wait,
Rebel said he's backstage.
I've been looking back. I'm looking for him still. Hold on, I don't see him. Okay. Okay, there we go. Okay. There we go.
Stop fighting folks. You up in there fighting people.
People using the internet and it causes it to crash over here.
Yeah, that's been happening a lot.
That part. It has been. Okay, so moving right along. Shout out to Rebel for coming back. Okay, moving right along. There's a lot of controversy in these comments. Okay, that's what we're here for. The controversy, period, from a gentleman's perspective. Okay, here, because we all gentlemen in this chat. Okay, so moving right along. Next, we got. Oh, this is my favorite part of the show. Y'all know I like Would You Rather. Okay. I got some good questions. Oh, where you go? Oh, he's trying to duck.
Oh my God. Okay. Everybody. Oh my God. Everybody.
Yeah, it kicked me out.
Okay.
They were just like,
just in case you all don't know, people home now, and so when people home, everybody get on the
Everybody's
internet.
on the internet.
This is why I'm praying that everybody gets some fiber optics so we don't have this problem.
Yeah.
Oh, 5G is going to eliminate this problem. Okay, watch my words.
As it gives us the coronavirus, Lord Jesus.
Okay, on period. I've been trying to tell people, but they don't be listening though. Okay. rather? Okay, we need to come up with emoji for the gentleman's panel. So when we do stuff like this, I could be like, drop some gentleman panel emojis in the comments. Drop some emojis for the gentleman's panel. Okay, drop your favorite emojis for the men on the panel. Okay, period. Somebody said, "What is 5G?" That's for a whole nother lie, boo. Okay,
Right, yeah.
a whole nother lie. Okay, so getting right into the game. Would you rather? I got some good questions, y'all. Okay, so, huh? Oh, starting.
That's that was cool.
Starting with Brother Jay. Okay, would you rather only being able to whisper or only being able to shout for the rest of your life?
You know it's shout. You about to just not even act like you already know.
Okay. Really? Did you not really contemplate that?
You know it's shout. Stop lying.
I don't know, you all. It's both. There are advantages to both. There are advantages to both. I am going to pick shout because you if you want to get your point across, you want to be heard. But there are times when you need to whisper. But I'm going to go with shout. I think both of them are important. I think both of them are important. But I'm going to go with shout to be heard, I guess.
Okay, I know that's right. Shout. Period. Captivating Christian. Would you rather all your teeth fall out or all of your hair fall out?
First of all, my hair fall out because it's whatever. I do have a big head, but
Maybe you throw a lace front.
Okay.
Her nails can come out of hiding.
I wouldn't do no. I wouldn't do no. Who's on that? Who's that? Yeah, I need my teeth. Thanks.
Okay.
Dreads and no don't look good.
No teeth period don't look good. All this sinks in. I already got high cheekbones. I don't need nothing extra. Like looking all crazy.
That part. Rebel, would you rather have 4 hands or 4 feet?
4 feet. Now, when you say 4 hands and 4 feet, what are you meaning? Like, in what ways? Just 4 fingers?
You have 4, like instead of feet, you have 4 hands, or instead of hands, you have 4 feet.
Oh, I'd say feet. I mean, I could throw I'd throw something like a kilt on or something just to disguise where they couldn't see it. I mean, I'd rather have the feet. I'll get in an Arabic type of a garb. Yeah. So.
Okay, on period. So you have feet. You have feet for hands. Okay, that's what's up. I think I would rather have 4 hands. Okay, and I'll put on.
You could do a whole bunch of stuff.
Extra wide shoes. But yeah, moving right along, Brother Jay. Okay, would you rather dress in neon yellow or neon pink for the rest of your life?
Mm-hmm.
I see what neon pink looks like on Nas X. So I would go with the yellow because I'm a child of the 80s and we did do the neon stuff. So I would go with the neon instead of the pink.
Okay, that's cool. So you said neon yellow instead of neon pink? Okay, you look like a construction worker. Okay, on period. I can see that for you. I can see that on you. Okay, on period. Okay. So, captivating Christian, would you rather be an infamous villain or an unknown superhero?
Unknown superhero. Because I like to play the background. I'm not a big, look at me kind of praise me kind of thing. I like to do stuff, and if don't nobody know about it, long as I know about it, I'm good. So, yeah.
Okay, on period.
Plus, the quiet Superman is always.
That's what's up. Period. Don't nobody got to know. As
The
long as
quiet
God
Superman
know.
is always sexy.
Period.
Right.
Rebel
Right.
Son. This is a good one, Rebel. Rebel Son, would you rather eat dog food or cat food with every meal for the rest of your life?
Lord have mercy.
You should have enough of. You should
Well,
have
you know
enough of
what?
dog food because.
But tuna could be considered cat food, so I'd say cat food.
Yeah, you're right.
You know, because dog food may have horses and everything else mixed in it. You know, cat food. Yeah.
I guess.
Just give me some crackers and some hot sauce. I mean,
Crackers and hot sauce.
Luxury cat food right there.
Right. He's got fancy.
That woman was eating dog food of Jefferson.
He got us a fancy feast.
The choice cut.
You're right. You know you like your choice cuts.
Yes. Okay, so Brother J, would you rather be great at something that no one cares about or be mediocre at something that everybody cares about?
Read that again. Great at something that no one cares about, or mediocre at something that everyone cares about.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was it.
You know what? I would rather be great at something no one really cares about, because I don't want to be mediocre, you know? So, yeah, I feel that way about opera singers. Opera singers are classically trained singers, and I think that they go through a lot of training, but yet they don't get the recognition. Whereas you get somebody who just can have a look and be mediocre in singing, but yet be famous. So
top of the
I would much rather have a conversation with Leontine Price, Grace Bunbury, Shirley Verrett, Marie Callas, Bobby McFerrin's father, who were opera singers, Marian Anderson, who were great opera singers, and it wasn't popular. You know, I'm sure it wasn't popular for Serena and Venus Williams to play tennis at the time, but they were great at it. And then eventually people came to know who they are. People weren't even watching golf until Tiger Woods came in the scene. So, yeah, I would rather go ahead and be great at something that people don't know about than be known and mediocre. We see enough of that in the music industry already.
Okay. On period. That's a good answer. Captivating. Would you rather frame your best friend for a horrible crime that you committed or be framed for a horrible crime you didn't commit?
Ooh, that sounds like somebody in YouTube.
Oh, that's scandalous.
That's tough. It's tough because I don't like something put on me that I did not do. Like, I'm adamant about that. Like, I've been that way since I was a kid. Don't say I did it. I didn't do it. I will argue you down. No way. But to frame I don't know. I would feel bad framing a friend, even though I know I did it. I would feel bad. But I don't know. That's a tough one.
No, that's
a tough one. That's a tough one, but I'm sorry, best friend. I love you, but you'd have to go.
Note to self: don't do nothing with captivating Christian. All right.
Okay.
Note to self.
Okay. Rebel Son, would you rather live on the streets for a week or sleep in a bed with the ex you hate the most for one night?
Yeah, that's easy.
Right.
Sleep in the bed with the ex I hate the most for one night. Because I don't really have an ex that I really hate or anything. So the least person that I like the least, I could sleep in the bed with him one night.
Because at the end of the day, he was your ex at once, so you done slept with him anyhow.
Right.
Okay, on period. Piriana to the period.
Yes.
Just a few more questions, and then we're gonna. Go, okay? Shows go by fast. We did that. Period. Brother Jay, would you rather wear dirty laundry for the rest of your life or brand new clothes with the price?
Can you say that close up a little bit?
Would you rather wear dirty laundry for the rest of your life or brand new clothes with the price tags always exposed?
I would have the price tag
I was about to say,
all the time.
This is what I-
Okay.
You can do that now with their little hats and their shoes. I'll have that price tag.
I just had the price tag showing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I got it at Macy's. Yeah, I got it at Nordstrom's. Yeah, the dirty clothes stank.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, captivating Christian, would you rather be stuck in an elevator with someone who talks nonstop or be stuck on an island alone for the rest of your life?
Oh, for the rest of my life? I could actually be either fine with both, but I'd rather be stuck on the elevator with somebody for the rest of my life, though. On the elevator with somebody who talks forever. I can tune people out. I can tune people out, so I could do elevator.
Okay, I guess you rather not be alone.
Yeah, I mean, like island by yourself alone. That's kind of you start talking to the ball like what was that? Castaway.
Like Castaway.
You be like,
said, I'm in this house right now, so you know I'm already locked up in this house. So
right.
that ain't
No, give me the elevator. I could tune you out.
I'm alone now. Okay.
It's enough.
Rebel Son. That part, this is enough. Okay. Can't wait to get out of this quarantine. Okay. Period. Rebel Son, would you rather, okay, if robots or aliens ruled the world?
Oh, God. I would rather aliens because there could be a chance we could have some type of advantage over them some way, but robots would be superior to us in almost every way. So I would rather aliens, you know, they're the lesser of the two evils. I mean, because we've seen aliens be conquered a lot of times. They may have a weakness that we can exploit.
Mm-hmm.
But somebody has to program the robot.
That is true.
But the robots can become self-sentient, you know, like at what's that with the
iRobot?
Can you?
The iRobot film too.
iRobot, yeah.
Yeah, and they wouldn't have the same empathy. They could probably just be just cold and just dispose of us, you know. So I would say aliens.
Priyana to Perrier. Brother Jay, last question, and then we're gonna move on to One Gotta Go. Okay. Brother Jay, would you rather, okay, would you rather be in a coma for 10 years or in prison for 5?
You know what? I would choose being in prison for 5. In a coma for 10 years, I can't do nothing. In a prison for 5, I get an education, do all of this stuff. 10 years is a lot of time to be losing. I mean, and in a coma,
you have relationships.
Okay, you know, I mean, I'm gonna choose prison. You can always start over again. You'll have at least you know what's going on in the world. Yeah, the coma thing for 10 years. Now, if it was a coma for 5 and prison for 5, I might choose coma. But with prison, you can do a lot of stuff in prison. Trust me.
Okay, on period. Periana to the period. I will have to choose prison
yes,
too.
You can.
Okay, for all the men's and stuff. Okay, on period. I'd rather be in prison with the men's than a coma alone. Okay, I feel like captivated. Okay, send me to the men's. Okay, hey, send me there with the men's. Period. We're moving right along, okay? And we're gonna get up out of here soon, okay? Shout out to 63 people in the room. Make sure that you guys have hit that like button, okay? Period. So that YouTube knows that you guys are rocking with the Gentleman's Panel. Okay, there's not another show on YouTube like it. Okay, so one gotta go, man. One gotta go, man. Okay, let me pull it up. One gotta go. Is my favorite meal. Period. So, out of these items, French toast, cinnamon buns, waffles, or pancakes. Okay, you only can eat. Only one gotta go. One gotta go. So, starting with Rebel Sun, which one is it?
Now I had my mind set on the muffins, and you took the muffins out.
Same thing, yo. I was like, yo, no. I was like, no.
I'm glad you switched it up, though. I'm glad you switched it up.
Because I was
I'm glad you switched it up.
Okay, you done okie doked us.
I know what I'm gonna get rid of.
Now, what is okay? It's waffles, pancakes, cinnamon toast, and what else? The cinnamon.
Cinnamon bun.
French toast and cinnamon buns. Yeah.
I'm gonna say waffles. Because waffles is like the ugly stepsister of pancakes. So yeah.
I don't know who made your waffles.
I mean, you can't have no chicken on waffles. What's wrong with that?
Waffles.
No way.
What about you, Brother James?
It would definitely be the French toast. French toast get me sick for some reason. I don't know why, but it would be French toast.
And captivating?
It'd be that darn cinnamon bun. That cinnamon bun gotta go.
Cinnamon roll? Why? That's so good.
Because I had a right cinnamon roll.
No, I've had plenty of Pillsbury cinnamon.
You don't want cinnamon buns? I thought you wanted.
Absolutely. Well, for me,
you know what, Rebel? No, you no attention.
For me, it would definitely be the French toast because for some reason, sometimes when I eat it, sometimes I eat it and it's good. Other times I eat it and it just don't go across well. I think it's because the egg yolk.
The egg on top, the egg yolk. Not everybody cooks that.
That's why I don't do French toast. I take the French toast. Give you a good old nasty piece of cinnamon bun with the cinnamon all up in the cracks and stuff.
The cream running all down your mouth when you eat it.
So no.
Absolutely. I love me a cinnamon roll. Yes.
Yes.
Cinnamon rolls are amazing.
Oh, yeah, Cinnabon, yes. Cinnabon is really good.
I'm going to change mine to French toast.
Okay, period. It's almost unanimous. Captivating, you want to change your mind?
Yeah. French toast got me.
Because I don't eat eggs like that. I will change it to
French. Let me tell you what else get me sick too. The Monte Cristo sandwiches. If they don't cook that right, I get real sick off of that too.
I don't know what.
It's almost like French toast, and they put the meat in it. But if they don't do it right, it'll get you sick. Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Well, we've been live for an hour and 50 minutes, y'all. Okay, on period. It don't even seem like I feel like I just pressed go live. Okay, we start off the show with some controversy. We got some trolls in the comments. We had the Blockiana, the trolls. Okay, on period. And the show went off without a hit. It was a lit show, you guys. Period. Shout out to all you guys who showed up. Okay. On period. Period to the brother. Period. Shout out to Brother Jay Wilson. Okay.
And we'll be having the gentleman's panel on whose panel? Is it my turn?
It's your turn.
So it'll be on my channel. So we will have a gentleman's panel Thursday. We will go back to 6:30 because we're going to be in Central Standard Time. So 6:30, 6:45. So it'll be on. Come on. We're going to have a great time. And of course, King Payne, you did an awesome job. You are the hostess with the mostest. Come on.
Period. Thank you, man. Okay. So, Brother Jay, tell them how they can find you.
Jay Wilson. That's all you got to do is type Jay Wilson and you will find me. Or you can do Pastor or Jada, whatever. And that's how you'll find me.
Okay, on period. And Rebel Son, tell them how to find you, man.
You'll just see the smoke signal in the air or follow the rainbow, and I'll be at the end.
Oh,
I believe that. I definitely believe that, bro. If I ever got enough time to follow the rainbow all the way to the end, I'm sure that your ass will be there sitting next to a pot of gold, girl. Go ahead.
the rainbow leads to you. Mm.
Okay. And Captain Patty, tell them how they
You can really just put in captivating. You can put in captivating Christian, and you'll find this face along with some political news you could always use. And yeah,
absolutely and captivating. I've been meaning to ask you. Okay, who's going to win the election?
It'd probably be Joe.
Okay, you think it's gonna be Joe? Okay, you know.
Well, I mean, as far as well, first we got to get through the nomination. I think Joe will win the nomination overall. As far as the general election, it'll be close, but I think Joe will squeak it on through.
It's gonna get really dirty
if nothing happens. If nothing,
right, and that's right, and that's if nothing happens. Well, even still, well, just because something happens, don't mean the way this president goes. Don't mean it may turn out in his favor because he may drop the ball again, and it may force people to be like, you know what, 86 them, but you know, so who knows?
all I can say is 6.6 million unemployment. It ain't good.
And they already said today from the news thing that everybody's not going to receive it. So, because they're talking about people who have lost their jobs, period, not people who just their job is closed. He said the head of the Treasury Department said for those people who have lost their job, not temporarily closed at the moment. So we'll see.
Absolutely. Well, that was very informative. Okay, yeah, I think that Joe's going to win too, but for some reason, you know that.
Well, you know they dug up that
period. He might pull out this election with another win.
Well, it'll be our fault if he does. My thing is, this is why you gotta do your census, and this is why you gotta make sure you're registered to vote. And I mean, I'm serious. I'm very concerned with this COVID-19 about the voting, but you got to vote. You have to vote. I mean, really, this is really life and death because a lot of people are dying because of our inability to do the right thing in a timely manner. So you gotta vote.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Yeah, you guys make sure that you guys get out there and vote, okay? Call your brothers, your sisters, your friends, your cousin. Go out there in teams, okay? Get you a partner, get you a voting partner, and let's show up in record numbers like never before, okay? On period.
Like Obama was running, okay? Get out there.
Stephen said people need to look into mailing in their votes.
Yeah, definitely.
It's going to be very important because we don't know what this situation is going
to be. Yeah.
So that's why you need to make sure you're registered to vote so you don't have to go and get it.
Yep. And they're pushing back the conventions. The DNC just pushed back their convention now till August due to this. So if you think this is just going to be over, within a month too, I don't think so either.
Yeah, and it's not doomsday with me. I'm not alarmed, but I'm alert. And you can be ignorant if you want to. You better be woke.
Yeah.
At the end of the day,
you better see what's going on and see the attention.
Let me say this too. Again, I've been telling folk about masks. You all get your mask. It's not doomsday. You want to live another day. We get so lax with what's going on. And unless you're a basketball player or a superstar and so on and so forth, you may not get that tested. They're sending people home and folk going home to die. So it ain't doomsday. You can see it on the television.
You got churches charging people to take the test.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, y'all gotta be
charging people. They canceled, they postponed it now. It's been canceled or postponed for the moment. But New Birth was charging, they just had a flyer out today. They were charging people $20 or $25 for a pre-screening and the actual test $150. As much money as that free tax exempt church makes. You mean to tell me you couldn't get together, put some money together to where your parishioners could take a test for free, but you paying on the fears of your members and other people around in the community? It's sad. Like, it's really, you got,
Brian is trying to pay that
yeah,
mortgage.
that's what I'm saying. Well, you got Juanita Bynum selling emergency kits, prayer cloths, and water. Get out of here.
She needs
Okay.
to go sit down somewhere.
You know what? These folks,
I'm done.
I would not trust one thing that came from these people. I wouldn't even trust the test kit. Because you know they're going to go to bottom of barrel test kit, because all they're going to do is get the cheapest thing and charge you the most. I would trust
Rebirth in Atlanta.
I just can't believe it. And yeah.
Yes.
And then people worried about me. Good, y'all worried about me, but y'all got pastor over there at these big old mega churches charging folk, want me to buy them, selling kits and stuff. Then you got Jim Baker selling snake oil. Y'all better go and sit down somewhere.
And then you got Kenneth Copeland telling you, Copeland, whatever his name is, telling you, I don't care how you get your tithes, and you better slide it through the door, get it in here. Don't you not pay your tithes? First of all, let's be very clear. Tithing has everything to do with giving, period. Giving. You could be giving that same 10% to a homeless shelter, to anything. It's about giving to build the body of Christ, not just the church sitting.
First of all, give a free will offering. The tithing is not for New Testament saints. And y'all know how I feel about that. So give what you can. And let me say this. God ain't never filed for no chapter 13, 11, or 7. I ain't never seen in the paper where Jesus was bankrupt. So do not let people put you. If you got to get your house paid for and your light bills, get your light bills paid for. Leave these folk alone. Jesus wants you. He don't want your money. It just bothers me when people do that kind of stuff. Unbelievable.
That old prosperity teaching. Like, if you just give a couple dollars, the Lord will bless you with so much. And yet these people are walking around taking public transportation to a mega church. If you don't go sit your whole behinds.
They ain't no different from Joe Exotic.
Yeah, right.
No, it's different from Joe Exotic. They have people in a trance and they feel, y'all let me say something. God don't need y'all to be given to these people to be blessed. You already blessed. You woke up this morning and you can blink your eyes and breathe. You blessed.
There was a sermon.
But you give what you have. The Bible said that the Macedonians gave according to their ability, not according to they were forced. Ooh, people need to stop that.
I don't know the exact pastor who said this, but there was a recent sermon that I just saw a couple of days ago where it said if you get spared by the virus, you're covered. If you get the virus, he will hold you while you're in it. And if you die from it, at least you'll be with God. Like, just leave it alone. All that other extraness, don't even. And that was
the message right there. That was the word right there. Okay, on period.
I'm gonna check that new birthday out.
Yes, I did.
It's on my the flyer is on my community wall.
Oh my God, unbelievable! Who does that?
The flyer is
on my community wall. Giving it away free of all places.
I wouldn't care.
How many food baskets are they giving out?
I don't know, but you shouldn't be charging anyone.
Exactly. And at a time like this, just taking advantage of people.
Oh no, I'm selling my protective kits since October, before all of this stuff. Have y'all seen my protective kits?
Oh Lord!
Y'all didn't get
it. I did see it that one night.
No.
I sell these kits just like this.
Okay.
Period. Here's Safari in one of my Dusty B protective kits. Okay, on period. Yes, I'm the originator of the Dusty B.
Very fashionable as well.
These kits since last October. Okay, and been selling them. Period. Periana to the period. So if y'all need y'all Dusty B protective kit, y'all need to cash out the official campaign RRSAPCT.
Or you can make your own with the styrofoam cups, and you can get some duct tape.
Okay.
Yes. People been out here in plastic bags, honey. So I mean,
That
you
lady
definitely
said, I am not getting sick. Okay, she said, I am not getting sick.
okay.
Oh my,
Oh my gosh, we just creeped up on
well,
2
I'm gonna
hours.
check those things out though. I really am gonna check those things out because that burns me. Oh my God, I'm gonna check it out.
Absolutely, yeah. Check it out. Y'all go check out my protective kits, okay? On period. Look, we just creeped up on 2 hours, y'all. Shout out to the 70 people here keeping it lit with us for 2 hours straight, man. You guys are the greatest. Period. Shout out to Jay Wilson. Shout out to Rebel Sun. Shout out to E, period. But shout out to me too, Puriana, to the Purier. It's lit over here.
Right.
It's been another awesome episode of the Gentleman's Panel. So drop some emojis for that. Period. We about to get up out of here, y'all. Is there any last words that anybody would like to say?
Nope.
No.
Did it all. Left it on the floor.
Just everyone be safe out there.
Yeah, please be safe,
Be
everyone.
safe.
Please. If you can stay home, please stay home.
Let's get up out of here, man. It was lit, man. Until next
Some
time.
music. You gonna take us out with some music?
I'm definitely gonna take you out with some music. Here we go. It's Money on the Floor. Available on all streaming platforms, by the way. Here you go, man. Hey! Hey! Okay. Okay.
She's a savage bitch, bundles with doors. She runs for that money, you know she adore. Paying your knees, but she can take a door. Checking that ass till she can't.
Hey! Come on! Hey!
Trick or treat, trick or treat, trick or treat, treat, treat.
That chicken treat.
Oh.
There's money on the floor. There's money on the floor.